We're keeping an eye on the crisis with Russia and Ukraine. Russia moving more forces close to the border. President Biden's National Security Advisor warning that Vladimir Putin is in a position to, quote, act aggressively against Ukraine at any time.
But high-level diplomacy is also underway. The French President Emmanuel Macron is set to arrive in Moscow to meet with Putin. Terry Moran on the scene in Ukraine with all the latest. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. This morning, the pace of both diplomatic and military activity is intensifying. Those world leaders searching for a solution, U.S. troops arriving in Eastern Europe to help reinforce NATO, and more U.S. military equipment arriving here to help defend Ukraine. Overnight, French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Moscow to meet with Vladimir Putin as Russia mobilizes more troops even closer to Ukraine's border. Macron telling reporters before leaving Paris it's essential to stop the situation deteriorating. U.S. officials estimate that Russia now has in place 70% of the forces needed for a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Satellite images show Moscow's military massing in neighboring Belarus. U.S. National Security Adviser Jake Sullivan warning that there is a, quote, very distinct possibility that Putin will order an attack on Ukraine.
It could take a number of different forms. It could happen as soon as tomorrow, or it could take some weeks yet. He has put himself in a position with military deployments to be able to act aggressively against Ukraine at any time now.
But intelligence agencies in the U.S. and NATO allies assess that Putin has not made a final decision on an invasion, and Russia denies any intention to attack. The Russian military released video showing drills alongside troops from Belarus, which they say are part of scheduled war games, including tanks and heavy mobile missile launchers, and even long-range nuclear-capable bombers flying over Belarus. And in the Black Sea, Russia has up to 30 ships at the ready, including 5 amphibious assault ships that could be used for beach landing. For years, Vladimir Putin has poured money into the Russian military, which was once crumbling, seeking to reassert Russian dominance in the region.
This is a military that's backed by a lot of firepower, a lot of air power, naval power. The Russian Navy is gathering in the Mediterranean. It's very different from sort of the past remembrances of poor Russian military performance in the 90s.
Over the weekend, U.S. troops arrived in Eastern Europe to reinforce NATO, and more U.S. military equipment arrived in Ukraine as the window for diplomacy narrows. Ukrainians we've spoken with here don't see the situation in the same dire terms the Pentagon does. They've lived with Russian threats and aggression for years. One woman telling me, Putin is crazy, but he won't invade, because she said, America will help us. George?
A lot of confusion over the endgame here. Okay, Terry, thanks very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.